So, Google just dropped a powerful new update with Gemini 2.5 Pro. Today I'm going to show you how to exactly use it, what's new, and how it might be your new favorite AI assistant.
So there's already many large language models that are out there, including ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and Claude. But what makes Gemini stand out from the rest of them is the fact that it's already integrated into many popular services. With it being made by Google as well, all the Google services, including Docs, Slides, and Google Meets, can work in parallel with Gemini incredibly easily. So if you're a big user of these services, then Gemini might be the new AI for you. Now, if you want to use Gemini for yourself, all you got to do is go to the Gemini website and then log in. From there, if you click on that icon to the left right there, you select the Gemini 2.5 Pro version of the model, and now you have full access to it. From there, you can use one of the example prompts down below, or you can upload your own custom prompt in the text box. So let's see what this new Gemini update can do. But first, what even is new with Gemini 2.5? Well, there's two main new improvements that Google has made. The first one is a memory upgrade. So Google has now allowed us to use about 1 million tokens for their new Gemini 2.5 Pro. And for context, that's around 700,000 words, which you can use as context windows, which practically that means you can upload an entire book and Gemini can go through the entire book, no problem. I mean, that itself is absolutely insane. So to test this, I dug up an old college textbook that I left on my laptop to see how accurately Gemini could extract information from such a large text file. And the result? We're spot on. I asked Gemini about a statistical concept called confidence intervals, which is in the textbook. And not only did it give a detailed explanation on what a confidence interval is, but it also gave a formula on how to use it, which is really impressive. However, there is one thing to note. Whenever you upload a file as big as a textbook, Gemini typically takes a long time to analyze the entire book and then give you an answer. Like for this prompt specifically, it took me around a minute to generate the response that it did. But overall, it's still really impressive that it gave such a detailed response. But the second thing that Gemini can do, and probably the most impressive thing that it can do, is that it's so much better now at coding things. So as you can see what's happening right now, I entered a little prompt asking it to create like a little dinosaur game that you would see when you have like a no connection. And Gemini did this flawlessly. There's a little character, as you can see, and he can jump over the red blocks, and eventually he'll hit the block and it'll say like, hey, you died. And it did this with just one sentence. It's actually mind-blowing of how incredible it can do it. Now, Gemini is pretty impressive, but let's take a step back real quick and figure out what Gemini is not really good at. Make a 2D game, no sweat, but let's see how it does with a 3D game. So I inputted a prompt to make a 3D Minecraft style game where it can move all around, place blocks, break blocks, all the bunch. And it did it. It just didn't do it that well. For one, the controls were not that great. It was honestly really nauseating to try to use, and the backwards and forwards buttons were actually swapped, which is not great. And anytime I tried placing or breaking a block, it would just never do it in the place that I selected. It was always like a few blocks off, and it just didn't work. Now, Gemini obviously has its shortcomings, but it's still important to note that it basically blows the competition when it comes to the benchmarks. When it comes to math, science, and the logic and reasoning benchmarks that people have for LLMs, it annihilates the competition. So I gave it a partial differential equation to solve. On top of that, it's an image. So let's see how it handles it. As you can see, it takes around 20 to 30 seconds before it actually starts writing anything down. It's using that time to actually think about the equation. But once it's done, it gives the whole step-by-step solution on what you need to do to find the exact solution. And I mean, this isn't your typical algebra equation that can be solved in like 3 or 4 steps. This is a multi-step solution that requires a lot of background knowledge on different theorems. So the fact that Gemini can actually solve this really speaks to how intelligent this new model is. Now with that, I'm honestly thinking of making the switch. I mean, with this incredibly large context window and with the fact that it outperforms nearly every other LLM out there, coupled with the fact that it's incredibly user-friendly, it just feels like a no-brainer just to switch to Gemini. However, I want to encourage you to make your own experiments. Figure out how Gemini can help you into your day-to-day life. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more about Gemini, take a look at our blog post. It has way more detail about what Gemini has to offer, so check it out.